Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jess Marshall podcast. Pretty stoked this week to have a buddy of mine on, high-level roofing producer by the name of Brad Sykes. He's known to himself and all of us as the Dallas Roofer. Hope you enjoy the podcast. Love to know what you think. Drop a comment below. Talk to y'all after. We'll do our best.
Why do you do this podcast, sir?
Why? Well, we started it back when COVID fired up, just because so many people were afraid of their own shadow, because some sneeze and cough flu was going around. Everybody's too afraid to go out and bust their ass.
You need
Fuck
to
that
talk about COVID. I probably had my best year. Everybody's home.
That's what I'm saying. We can do that. We can't talk bad about it, or they'll take the YouTube channel. But I can't say.
Oh, I know. No, I know.
But,
just yeah.
But we will. I mean, there's a couple of my podcasts though that didn't even get flagged that are very, very political.
Oh, I'd love to do another one that's very political.
Just all
we'll have that.
all
They'll
the
take
time.
that bitch down real quick.
Yeah, man. No, man. I mean, that was. I think that was a decision that a lot of people had to make when COVID kicked off. It was, what do we do here? Did you keep knocking doors? Because people were home.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, I just worked at Lake Island Storm. It was in my backyard.
That's true.
Yeah, it was just,
Yeah.
man.
My our CFO lives right over there in White Rock Valley, and she's like, "Who's this Brad Sykes guy?" I was like, "Oh, he works for Absolute, right?" Yeah. So, your signs are everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
What do you do with these? So you sign somebody up because you knocked on their door. How do you get them to then refer you? You touch base with them. You write them thank you notes. Send out constant contact emails.
I sign them up. I don't have time to go there and then them think about it and then come back. You do have those situations, but if there's damage and it's we need to go ahead and get this done right now, and then get the insurance out here and look at it. But if it's a lot of times it's about, and I put a sign there not to try to get business and calls off that, but to let people know I'm there. So when I attack their door, they know who I am already.
Mm-hmm.
And it just filtrates. If you don't have 8,000 roofers in there, you can work at a more relaxed pace, smart, get a build, add these every time.
Right.
That's how I'd rather work. And then just everybody knows everybody, and it's about asking for a referral, not do you know anybody, but who do you know that friends, family, anywhere in the DFW that I could do a free inspection for. They may or may not have damage, but,
You're asking them for that right then and there and getting a name and a number?
No, I just wait till the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't even ask, and I just get so busy. But if I want one, I can get it. It's about how you ask an open-ended question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one that's not yes or no.
Yeah.
Who do you know? Not do you know anyone?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. How long did it take you to perfect your at-the-door pitch when you first started? And maybe that's where we should start out. Yeah. I just try to get you off balance. See if I can get a couple of Sidewinder questions in there before you know we're live. I'm just fucking with you.
Nah, that's all good.
Let's go back to when you started all this. You'd been your life wasn't going the way you wanted it to go.
So people, are we live?
Yeah. Your life wasn't going. Yeah.
Okay, let's roll.
It wasn't going the way you wanted it to go, right? And you started getting your life back on track, and you're looking for something to do to make a living.
Yeah.
You found this business?
Yeah. So is that where you want to start?
Yeah.
Well, basically, I grew up. I'll start kind of how I grew up. So I grew up, had everything, only child. My parents enabled me, and, I was bad and got off into drugs and just made their life hell, but they just kept enabling me, and it was like money controlled, and, I'd just get sent to rehab or something and never just come back. And I know that, I had their support, or, and didn't have to do shit. So I just didn't have much ambition. So, kind of a long story short, basically, I ended up in Texas. I'm originally from Mississippi. I've been out here 6 years in a rehab out here. And then, that was kind of their last straw. And got kicked out, like I have plenty of treatment centers. And, I don't deal with authority good. I like somebody to ask me instead of tell me.
Hey, what's that like? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, put on your mask. Well, fuck no, not now. That's just because you asked me. If you asked me to, sir, can you please put this on? Because, we are I don't want to get in trouble. That's understandable. Okay. But, you're a little Nazi and want to have some power,
Rubs you the wrong way.
Yeah.
So what, your parents they just cut you off?
Well, yeah. So, they had me out here, and then I got kicked out there. Then they helped me get in this other little sober living with some guys and stuff. And then messed up there, slept with this chick that was whatever. So, how that story goes. Mm-hmm. So just still living sick, and went to this one other place, and then ended up just relapsing out there. Then they were done and cut me off. So I basically, had to figure it out on my own. And actually, while I was there at that last place, that one of my buddies I used to play volleyball with, his name was Braden. He died now from a heroin overdose. It's really sad. Him and his wife at the same time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so he got me into that there. I didn't know what I was doing. There, I was getting hosed, He didn't know that, but my buddy didn't. But the owner was just hosing us, We go sign up a roof, we get like, I think $350 up to 30 squares, and then $500 up to 40 something, and then it kind of went up there. It was a real hose, and then we get little $100 bonuses. But at the time, I was like, okay, I can work when I want, and nobody's on my ass to work, and I can make enough money to do what I want, like, because I just didn't know what it's like to really be on my own and make my own way. So, yeah, and then I did that relapse and got removed out of there, and then ended up, didn't have any options. So I was basically homeless, living on somebody's couch, and not like living in the streets, but I did have a car and stuff. And I, got on heroin, and, was just living, everything was, no contact with anybody. I just, it's time to do something. And that was the best thing for me. I had to hit my bottom, and then I realized, okay, well, so I got some help, got into I went to all the nice rehab stuff my whole life, but went to this place called Green Oaks. I'm sure a lot of people in Dallas have heard of it. It's a terrible place. Got detoxed there for a few days, and then had some help through the program, getting into a Oxford house. And, it's kind of the prisoners run the asylum, and that was good for me, no authoritarian or something. So I started working at Jimmy John's, delivering some sandwiches. I was cool, happy to have soup and whatever. Soup, gas, and water, and pay my little rent there. And so I kind of learned how to live. And then I was like, my other buddy had started his roofing company. So I was like, okay, I feel good. I need to start doing that. So I went out and worked with him for a while. The pay wasn't really great. But one thing one savage skill I really had, and this all I knew how to do, is like just chase down a customer, but be very aggressive at the door and basically force them to file that claim and sign that contract there. That's a skill set I had naturally. So
how were you able to do that without getting a "fuck you, Brad" and a slam the door in your face? I'm sure that happened a few times.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did it like in almost, basically, look at the roof, and I've got my little routines. Get up there and get some pictures. Invite myself to sit down. I would already know what insurance company they had. Then I would just basically sit down and start calling their insurance right there with them at the table. I don't have to do that now because I don't have to work like that. But yeah, it's what I was really good at. So, I worked for my buddy for a while. I wasn't getting paid right and stuff. It's all good. It's what it was back then. But I needed all this to get where I was today. And then a buddy in the program said, hey, he hooked me up with Donald at Absolute. So I got with him. I'd been with them about 4 years now. And, I was a mess when I came to him, but I could go out there. I could go hustle and get, all these claims. So I was deals. So I was like, man, I'll come, hooked up with him. He hired me right away, of course, and I went out and got 7 claims the first week, just hustling, getting there. I was a mess. I'd come in with basically a manila folder and just have a bunch of contracts stacked up, like no organization, no anything. Right. I didn't know a ton about roofing, but I knew how to sign an insurance claim and an insurance deal. Like, I was a savage at that. I got it done, and I could do a lot of it.
What came so naturally to you about that?
I think it's
the way the math worked out.
Man,
hey, you have this deductible. We can offset it this way, that way.
Man, I didn't even know about that stuff then. I just like, hey, we'll go through your insurance. I'd learned back then. This was early 17. Hey, we can get you no money out of pocket. That's how I learned from these little trash.
Yeah.
So
that's how
I mean,
everybody used to be.
Yeah. So it was learning experience. So. And I started knocking 20 square roofs in Garland, which was good. It helped me figure stuff out. But no, it was good experience. But then I just needed to learn more. So I got over there with him. He helped me with insurance paperwork, and I got some installs going, learning how to really meet with adjusters, because I guess they were keeping me stupid. The other place, like, sign the deal, we'll come out and
exactly.
And then,
Yeah.
So hey,
especially if they're only paying you $300 or $500 a deal, that's
ridiculous.
Yeah. You see a lot of that in this business, though. It still happens all over the place.
I'm sure it does.
Right now. Yeah.
But that's okay, man. It's I appreciate that, because it was learning. It brought me to where I was today.
How long from the day you started knocking doors the first time? How long did it take you to get a claim signed up? You had one that first day?
Man, I don't remember. I was kind of lazy then, as not motivated. I just wanted enough to get my little money every week to, do my gas or go on a date or whatever it was. So, not very long though. It was pretty easy to me.
Are you better at learning like in a classroom, or are you better?
No,
let's get the bullets flying. Let's get the adrenaline up,
no, I hate school.
Yeah.
I hate school. I quit in 11th grade. Got my good enough diploma, the old GED.
Good enough.
School ain't made for me. I was high during most of my classes, or skipped, or Hey, I don't blame you. If I'd have known about getting high, I'd been high through a lot of classes too. I fucking hate school as well. So, yeah.
It definitely teaches you how to be a good little soldier.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Follow directions. What do you like most about this industry?
Well,
the flexibility. The money's obviously awesome.
I'll go back to one question you had, and we'll get there. But so you asked me what kind. I think it was just a natural instinct. I've always had outgoing personality, and I like, and a lot of my sales is charisma driven and emotion. So you're making people like you and trust you. But I was just like a very aggressive and determined, and I could just go in, and it's like having no fear, and it's,
not afraid of the word no.
Yeah, it's this. I think it's this.
People are
this drug addict instinct too, like very smart, knowing how to.
Resourceful, clever.
Yeah, so a lot of people.
I'm not stopping until I get what I came to get.
The basically all the company I've worked for years. Most everybody's recovered there. And
is that right?
Yeah, man.
Cool.
It's a lot of people in the industry, very successful. So. Kids, this is why you don't even need to go to school, go into sales early. But we do need some doctors, though.
Maybe.
Hey, I'm totally kidding on that,
maybe.
But
I'm not a big fan of doctors. Sorry, doctors. Whatever doctors are watching this, fuck you. Not really, but kind of. The not being afraid of rejection, the not being afraid of no. You just started out that way.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, damn it, I got 10 doors not bashed in my face, and then your boss isn't going, Brad, let's go.
Well, I just had a certain, in my mind. That time I know I needed to get a deal, this week, and I just would make that happen.
So it's that desperation. It's that I have no other options.
Yeah.
I sell this, or I don't make rent, and I got to live in the back seat of my car again.
Yeah. And basically my mentality for the last 2 years is no matter what, so I'd rather get a consistent, it's a marathon, not a sprint through the year. And I work all year round. I'd roof a house on Christmas Day if I could. Mm-hmm. Thanksgiving.
So what you're trying to say is there's no slow season here.
No. No.
There's only a slow season if you think there's a slow season.
Correct.
That's what I tell all our people.
Correct. I don't need a health. We'll get to that in a second. Talk about year 20. It was amazing. Yeah. So go ahead.
It's just the never say die attitude's very important.
Yeah.
I don't have better options, so if I got to sweat for some money, I'm going to do that. Was there a point when you started to see your mindset shift to where you did become more motivated, or you started just to self-motivate
Well, once
yourself?
I got over there, and they were giving me like a little salary and stuff at the other company, like it was not, like $800 a week. And at the time I thought, okay, that's great. I'll do that, and then they were like, they're going to change that up and do this and give me. So I was like, I'm gone. I know I can get deals. I might not know a whole lot more, but I can get deals like no other. So, yeah. And I also, you got to remember, my dad, he owned a bottled water company along the Gulf Coast of Mississippi for 50 years. He didn't even do, he sold life insurance, not as his main job, but as his, just a side deal. Mass Mutual Life Insurance, and he was Salesman of the Year in Mississippi. So it's in my bloodline,
Yeah.
So,
but how often do you hear somebody say, "Man, I just can't. I can't hack it in this business. I can't make it happen. I gotta go to more sales conferences. I gotta do." When really, if you show up with intention and you have energy and you act like you want to be there. And like you're not going to be denied. That goes way the fuck further than I know every last thing about this lifetime laminated shingle. When you first showed up on your first roof, you probably didn't even fucking know the difference between a 3-tab and a laminate shingle.
That was the first thing my guy taught me. But shit, I was signing up roofs that didn't have a lick of damage on it. At first, I didn't know.
Sure.
But I'll tell you this. So. This brings me to a point because I am ADD, so I'll jump subjects, but everybody can stay with us,
Yeah.
But basically, if I'm at a door, I feel like I'm getting shut down. So I'll ask a homeowner, I'll make friends with them either way, no or yes. I ask them questions like, so have there been a bunch of roofers through here? Questions like that, so I can, go back with a smart approach instead of just early in my career where I would just work like a dog, just keep, you've got to. And it might be as simple, just connect with some people, seeing something in their yard, you might see a Trump sign there or something. Oh, talk about Republican, whatever. Or you might see a
bond on common interest
Biden sign and might say, yeah, thank God, we got some whatever it is. That's
this
where
guy
I'll
will
stop
do
with
anything
that.
for the sale right here. He'll do anything for the sale.
But no, it's just about meeting people and not and then once you can't show desperation. It takes getting started in this industry is the hardest part at the beginning.
But how often do you see that people overcomplicate the start out? Because when you start out, you got to keep it really simple. And you just got to repeat and you start building on small successes, right?
Exactly.
And so, see, a lot of times people first start out, it's, I'm going to get my HEG certification and I'm going to go do this and go to. How about we get you?
You know what I did during HEG certification? I don't know. It was a few years ago, so I was in the.
I don't want to know what your browser history was like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, I was so bored. I felt like, I was watching. I'd rather watch paint dry, basically. Yeah. But I was sitting there, listening to that first day, and then a hailstorm hit. It was that big one in, like McKinney and stuff back in 2019, like the March. I can't remember the date, but I could tell you if I wasn't put on the spot.
Yeah.
March 24th of 2019. Yeah. So that big storm, and so I was sitting there. I was like, "Fuck this," So. That had happened like the second day, so I just left in the middle of the second day and went and worked. Went to the hailstorm. Oh, fuck this HEG class. Who needs that shit? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to spot hail damage. You just get on enough roofs.
How often do people approach you and they say, Brad, I want you to show me the ropes. Can I shadow you around? And then you start showing them what it actually takes, and they're like, yeah, I'm good.
I have that happen, but I'll usually delegate them to one of my assistants first, and I want to see something from them before, you know, I spend my time. I want to know they're dedicated, because I'll take somebody that's you've got a few kind of different people. So you have highly talented people with no work ethic. You have somebody with both, which I was blessed to be with. My work ethic way outweighs my talent. Okay, and you have people with work ethic and not much talent. I'll take that work ethic person with no talent above the talented person with no work ethic.
No doubt about it.
Because that's what it takes in this industry.
Yeah.
And I can make something. If somebody works hard, I can find a position for them anyway. And there's so many different things you can do with, you know, employees and such. You know, pay them on certain jobs. They do this. You know, you've got to learn how to utilize people and make sure they're paid right to free you up to do your thing, you know?
How hard was it for you to start to learn how to delegate? Because when you delegate, the job's not done, right? I tell you I need this done, do it this way, probably teach you a few times, right? Then I delegate something to you, and then my job becomes following up with everyone I delegate to, right? That's a different job description than just getting it done. It's very frustrating if you've got a type A personality like you obviously do, to say I need this done, and it doesn't come back done for 72 hours, 3-4 days, and you're like, fuck this. I could have done this in 2 hours. You keep doing that, though, and you can't ever scale your efforts. So was that a struggle for you, learning how to delegate?
No, definitely not. I just had to find the right people, and I'm good at finding that. I'm highly talented at it. I'm a better, I would say, at recruiting and getting a sale than just a straight up teacher. But I'll talk more about that at the end. But what my next year and future career is looking like. I'm going to try to more like skill people. I want to help. I just need a different challenge. And commercial, I don't think's for me, because I'm an impatient guy. I like to get things done then and there. So
those take forever.
The long games. I'm not the best at email and all that, but I see somebody, I get a pen and a pad, and it's done kind of thing.
Yeah. The was the staying organized thing something you had to grow into?
Absolutely.
If you just took right to delegating, that's impressive, because that took me a really long time to learn how to I delegate things to Ryan and his team, right, for this whole effort. I have another team that at the restoration company. That took me a long time, right?
Absolutely.
Because it really bothers me when stuff doesn't get done either perfectly like I would have done it or quickly. So that's impressive that you just grasped and embraced delegating so fast. But organizing, you said this cat over here helps you keep organized.
Oh, yeah, he's the man.
Was it a nightmare before you got the organizing piece down?
Let me talk where I was before. So DJ over at Absolute, he was able to help me a lot and, get organized, because I just had a mess. And I was dating this chick back then. I just made her fix all my papers, and this and that. And it took a while, and I worked there before we had CRMs. We had to fill out the paper sheet. So my first organization set, I'd get manila folders with the paperwork and the contract and put their name and address on the outside of that and put them in a file box. So it started there and then grew from there. But then then I got to a point as I got more advanced, because I say June 9th of 19, that's when I really had my coming out party, the storm in Dallas, But before that, I was just, I'll back up, like those that back into that whole year. I was just running myself ragged out there on the street, getting claims, getting some phone leads here and there, knocking doors, doing whatever, just producing, I think I did in 18, maybe 1.6 million.
You getting phone leads off of calls to your signs?
Nah, just telemarketer, just different ways, a little bit of everything. Yeah, I think I did like 1.6, without any help in 19, just running myself ragged and maybe a little more. But anyways, my really coming out party was Dallas, that June 9th storm. It's close to my house, but I don't know, man. That one just, I'd kind of learned the game then and started, really supplementing. I found my supplement guy, and it's better for me to to just third party that to the guy, you know. So I just basically supplement everything and send him out there, and he does his thing, and, you know, does all the phone calling. And
well, you can't do your thing if you're sitting behind a desk all day.
Yeah, so I really started coming up then, and then I was like, man, this is just a lot of work for me, because it was killing me. So I had a buddy I went to rehab with back in 2016. I started hiring him as a assistant. He could roll with me, you know, basically help me with my ladder, whatever, because we were like pushing it, you know, run errands, whatever, you know. And I'm the type, I like to have somebody around me, my buddies, when I work, you know.
Sure.
I'm not one. I really don't like being by myself, you know. I'm a people person and enjoy that, and, you know, found that, you know, he's my homeboy, you know. He didn't want to work too hard back then, but it was something, you know. And
sure.
I was able to. Then I started dating my, you know, now wife, you know, back in then, and you know, then I got her out there. I would so I started figuring out how to work smarter then. So I'd basically have her, you know, it'd be on the roof, and I'd basically tell the homeowner how it was going to go before, look, we're going to, you know, inspect everything, and, you know, if we find anything, I'm going to give her the thumbs up. She'll call on the claim here with you, so I'd get up there and take the pictures, give her the thumbs up, you know, and if I needed to come down there and kind of, and I wouldn't ask him, I'd say, hey, you know, I'd set that tone before I even got up there, so it's just a skill set and fine-tuning.
Confidence breeds confidence.
Yeah,
but
man.
If you show up and you're asking for permission for everything, the homeowner who's never filed a claim before doesn't know if a yes or a no is appropriate. Mm-hmm. But if, on the other hand, you say, hey, this is what we've done for your neighbors, this is what we'll do for you with your permission, boom, you're off to the races. And that confidence that you have in your skills and your process breeds confidence in the client, that they're like, yes, Brad, let's make this happen, because I trust that you know what you're talking about.
Right.
It's the way you carry yourself, the way that you present the process to the client, which is what? Let's not overcomplicate what this really is. It's an insurance claim to fix damage, but let's also not undersell the fact that we're working in the insurance industry and insurance companies don't want to pay these claims.
Exactly.
So how do you toe that line with a client of, let's not overplay the fact that the carrier is not interested in fairly indemnifying a policyholder, but let's also not oversimplify it? Is that just that's just something that you just kind of feel out each client, or you do it the same each time? Or
yeah, and I basically, so my game was, I'll tell everybody, you know, up until COVID, then I had to change it. It made me uncomfortable, but it's all about adapt. So, you know, I would go up there, say she wasn't with me or something, you know, it was me or whatever. You know, I'd go up there, basically, you know, hit the door, whatever. I like name dropping a lot, especially if I've done it in the neighborhood. You know, that's one of my, you know, I think a lot of people do that, but it's really good, you know, if they can have somebody, you know, oh, yeah, this is, I'll even say that to a random neighborhood. Hey, I did the Johnsons around the corner, and the, you know, the Bidens way down there.
Yeah.
The Brandons on the other street.
The Harrises 2 blocks over.
Yeah. 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 So I'll basically, you know, tell them that, and, you know, I'd get a tiny bit of rapport. I just know how to get just enough, and you know, they're busy, I got to keep in mind or whatever. I go up there, you know, I already know what insurance company they have, so I know who, because I know which each one is going to ask for. So I get up there and take my pictures and come down. Hey, yeah, you know, is there anywhere we can sit down so we can go over these pictures, you know? And I'm kind of almost falling forward, you know, so I can get in their house, you know. And then sometimes, you know, if you're like, because you get a good kick in the nuts in life, sometimes your confidence will be down. So I'll go in there if I'm having, okay, you know, I'll show them the pictures. Hey, this, and this. We're going to go ahead and call the insurance company and get them on the line. And so you already know by then, once you say that, if they're like saying no or yes or whatever. Or if I have anxiety about doing that, you know, at that time, best way to ask for permission. So do you have your policy number available? You know, make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so proceed at that. So that was one of my little tricks, you know. It's just all being people person and friendly and them trusting you. Now, those cats that don't have no emotion, that are dry, sometimes, man, I get frustrated on those. It's like I can't use my wit and whatever emotions to then I just got to reel it back in and realize go in a different direction and just get black and white and everything.
That goes back though to your it seems like you have a skill for being intuitive. You said you do, and you recruit people. When you're meeting a potential client, a client prospect, you're recruiting that client prospect, being able to read the situation and not just use the same approach with everyone is very valuable.
It's different with everybody, you know. It's different with everybody.
And then your brain starts to recognize, ooh, I dealt with a guy last year who was exactly like this lady is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat her. I'll talk to her this way. I'll get a better response, etc.
And you got to lose some to learn that especially from the people saying Preston and Hollow. You know, I lost a few during that big tornado. You know, I got a lot of Big Daddy claims, but you know, some of those people are demanding, which I could handle them way better than I could back then. But you know, and I just worked so much different. But you know, you've got to be, you know, everybody's different kind of thing, and you've got to fine-tune your approach. Man, this thing takes years and to perfect. I'm still learning stuff every day, and you can't take no at the door once. You've got to get at least 3 no's and just being able to direct that.
And asking those open-ended questions.
Yeah.
Not yes or no, but questions that start a discussion.
Right.
That takes practice. Did you do any like role play type work with other people? You just went out and talked to actual
I just figured this stuff out on my own. So nobody
client prospects.
I taught myself all my sales skills.
So you're saying you didn't buy a plane ticket and go to a Sam Taggart conference for a week and come back and then all of a sudden you're a $2 million producer?
I would be too bored. No.
Right.
I've never done one of those sales.
Plus, you're not getting paid for learning. You're paying to learn if you go to a seminar. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with seminars. There sure are a hell of a lot of them. That's a new thing, right? There's roofing conferences and seminars all over hell and half of Georgia, it seems like. But if you go out and you start learning in the field, you might actually get paid while you're learning. So why not double up on that experience?
Well, you know, it's like, I guess, you know, just having the being okay with going out there failing so many times that, you know, and this thing's not for everybody, but, you know, it's just being able to just keep going at it, man. But no, I've taught myself my own sales skills, like really hadn't been showed much on that. Absolute Construction definitely helped me with like my roofing knowledge and that, and reading insurance paperwork. And then I was just kind of combine the skills, and I'm an entrepreneur myself. So back in 15, you know, when I was 15 years old, I could go work for minimum wage doing $5 an hour, or, you know, I was like, hell no, I'm not getting a job doing that. But so I grabbed me a lawnmower, went and knocked doors and built, you know, would do people's yards, you know, just. Yeah. So maybe that's where I got my, I don't know. But
well, know, and you saw it growing up, right? Your dad's out there hustling.
Right?
Yeah,
I did.
Successful business over here, but then he's got this side hustle thing over here that he's winning awards at, and you're like, well.
Yeah, I mean, which I didn't pay no attention to him. He was just a dictator growing up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Right.
Yeah, it was just a constant.
There's still something to be said though for that outgoing, gregarious personality being kind of in your DNA.
Absolutely.
That you're not afraid to go meet new people. You're not afraid necessarily to stand up in front of a crowd and talk. You're going to talk at the Win the Storm conference here.
Which I get anxiety doing all this stuff, but, you know, I just kind of do it.
Just blaze right through it.
I'm not the best storyteller or speech giver or anything like that. I'm very good at a conversation, or, I just get kind of chew my words if I go on a long story tangent. But it's being able to use charm with a lot of people. Like, this is just an example, you know, you're walking in this, see this older lady, you know, hey, young lady, how you doing today?
Sure.
You know, with a smile,
right.
And she's 60 years old, so, you know.
Southern charm.
Yeah, exactly.
Mississippi.
And with the accent, it helps,
yeah,
too. So.
I'm sure. The accent's disarming, right?
Yeah.
The Southern accent's very disarming, and I figured it out. It's because if other people don't have it and you're talking to them, they automatically feel smarter than you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that people always want to talk to someone they feel smarter than, and they always want to talk to someone who will listen?
Yeah.
Right? Most people's favorite person in the world is who? Their mom. What are moms the best at that other people suck at? They just listen. Mm-hmm. They don't go, you need to do this, you need to do this, right? I don't know if the same is true for you, but my mom just listens. She's not coming to me with a Rolodex of solutions. My dad,
mom will hit me with 10,000 questions, man. Like, all right, no more talking right now. Like, we'll sit here and chill. No more talking. 3 more questions for the day. You're on the limit.
That's it.
But
that's funny.
Yeah, no, it's that, and yeah, man. So it's just filling it out, and sometimes you got the personality for it, or you don't. I'm not greatest at paperwork, writing emails, all that stuff, but I figured it out, and I've got a system now, and I've built a great system. I'll talk about shortly. When years on, if you want to, go into that, whatever more questions, or the 2020 shutdown, the time.
Yeah. I wanted, before we talk about COVID and what you did then when a lot of people just packed it in, and now they're really fucking bummed out because they're either living on unemployment or they got nothing to live on now that unemployment's run out. We'll get to that in a minute. When you first started, were you out there 7 days a week hustling?
Man.
Or did you at least make it a point to be out there at least one day of the weekend? Because
I made sure. This has always been my mindset, man. So when I was on all commission, I need to get 3 deals a week at least. If you keep that mindset, you will make it great in this industry, and you can do it in so many different ways. And I just stuck with that, man. I would go out and make that happen. If it was Monday and Tuesday, I try to get my deals early in the week. Monday and Tuesday are always the busiest days now, and I would always, when I did my builds, I like to do them on Monday and Tuesday so I could get my deals out of the way so I didn't have to worry about it. And so it was just kind of a personal goal that I would hold myself to, and I would get more a lot of times. And this is like right after a hailstorm. This is kind of, which I like working out of a hailstorm way more. This time people say they're starving, I guess, or some people, but I mean, there's plenty of work out there.
There's hail everywhere, man.
Yeah.
There's hail fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and in 20 there wasn't a hailstorm, and I did 2.4 million.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's a crazy number.
Yeah.
Are there people in this industry who are
all residential too?
Yeah, that needs to be said. Are there people in this industry who are smarter than you are?
Of course.
Are there very many people in this industry who will outwork you?
They always told me over there, you're the hardest working motherfucker I know. And yeah, man, it's
Where did that change in you? Where you're bouncing through these rehabs and these halfway houses, and you're just not motivated. And a lot of people want to wait till they're motivated to take action. But where did this sea change in you? Sea change is when a lake turns over,
yes.
Right? When did this happen?
So I would say,
2019.
I mean, yeah, a little bit before then maybe. But when I realized, hey, my parents, are done. I don't need them. I need to make something for myself. And I just really loved what I was doing, helping people, all that, making a good living, kind of doing it all. And I was really good at it. So I hadn't been good at a lot of things,
It's honest, tangible work too, right?
Yeah.
It's not I sell apps, or even I sell a car.
Yeah.
It's actually I'm selling you material and labor and a warranty. And look at my reviews and ask your neighbor I'm awesome. And then
exactly.
You come and you not only make these promises, then you keep the promises, and you just keep doing that over and over. Do you believe in momentum?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. A guy like myself, even today, I can go out there. I can have a run of, so many claims, dude. And I usually have, I do about 120 roofs a year, something like that, maybe 100. I'm probably did 100 this year, maybe a little more. I don't even count them anymore. It just kind of, it's a lot. But so, I'll go out and have a bad day, and then, go home and just judge myself like you suck and all this, and just beat myself up. So I'm really hard on myself about things. I don't like to disappoint guys that work for me or disappoint people, so I'm hard on myself about things, which I shouldn't be. So,
what do you do to keep yourself balanced in your personal life? You work out, you meditate, you go on a walk.
Man, I love to travel and go to concerts, but
Yeah.
you can't just do that every day. Work more, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got, doing the family thing now, so I'll go home and hang out with her, or hang out with the dog a little bit, take him around, I love driving my little car around. It's a fun car, you know. Go out and go. It's really fast, so, you know, blow off some steam or hang out with the buddies, you know, get out and go shoot the shit. I go on a lot of vacations that I'm fortunate enough to lately, so I just, it feels like I work so much, I just need that escape.
Is there anything that replaces just good old-fashioned hard work? Now, you said that you're starting to work
I basically
hard, but
traded,
also smarter.
You can say I traded addictions, you know, a lot.
Sure.
You know, so my mind races all the time, ADD, you know, whatever it is up there, that the wheels never stop turning. So it's hard for me to sit still. I like to stay busy.
You can call it ADD or anything you want. I just call it type A, man.
Yeah.
Just I got to be doing something.
Yeah,
I
need to be productive. You know,
Boom.
I need to be getting my house up. You know, I bought my first house this year back in February. You know, I went all out, got one right in the middle of Lake Highlands, Dallas, you know.
That's awesome.
$1 million house, went all out for my first one and, you know, saved the money for the down payment. And, you know, I earned it all by myself. So.
Yeah,
you know, and that's coming from nothing. So,
do you have this better sense of self, this increased agency, this personal confidence now that maybe you didn't have 5, 6, 7 years ago because of what you're able to do?
Yeah, of course.
When you put your mind to it.
And I feel like, you know, I had to prove something to my dad for years, you know, because I'm competitive too. You know, over there at that company, you know, I'm not letting anybody come close to my. You know, hell no, they're catching me. I'm very, very competitive. You know, I just have to win. I feel like it. You know, just getting the highest revenue, and you know, it's just. I don't know. Maybe there's a void on me on the inside that I need to fill in other ways. Well, of course there is. You know, when I should probably fill it with more God, and you know, I'm going to tell you that. So maybe I use work as an outlet or whatever. But it's just the way I'm made.
Don't you think God made all of us a little different?
Definitely.
And there are certain of us who He created to be the producers, and there are certain of us that maybe were created to be more support, and maybe. People are these more peaceful people are better at being supportive, and these more aggressive doers are better at just getting stuff done.
Exactly. Everybody has their good things and bad things, you know, like shit, you want this guy on a computer, not me, you know.
Right.
I've got my little retard computer at home, my office set up there, you know. I've got him the setup, man, like 2 nice screens and a huge
looks like Minority Report in there.
Yeah, I'm over there like, let me type this email and misspell a few words, you know, and let me send this email or Google this, you know, just simple looking company cam, all the basic stuff.
Right.
Check the AccuLinks, whatever. But
you do company cam and then just upload the company cam link into AccuLinks?
Nah, I don't upload them. I've company cam's been a game changer. You know, I've been using it for some years, man, and it's good because you can help other guys if they're doing an inspection. They can do. And one of the best things, I've had customers come back and say, "Oh, you messed this up," and I can go back and get the pictures.
100%.
Sir, this was like this before.
But to get your photos from company cam into AccuLinks, do you just?
I don't do that. I just leave them in. You know.
So when you send them to an adjuster with a supplement report, you're just sending a separate link.
I usually don't send supplements, but if I have to get photos, I just tell this guy what I need. So I don't, you know, I just he's a rock star, that computer. So
that's awesome.
So I'll speak about him at the end because he deserves the best for last. So
there you go. Wow. Yeah. High praise.
Yeah. Michael Marcinko, folks.
There you go, man. Let's drop his link.
His brother just got into the roofing industry too.
Oh,
Billy
right?
Billy Marcinko. He's
awesome.
He's type A. He's kind of built like me. I think he'll be pretty good at it. He's a hustler and stuff. So.
Don't you think that this industry, you might not have lots of experience with lots of other industries, but this industry, more than many, many others, changes a lot of lives?
Big time.
People who really need a second chance, people who really don't like much else, and then once you kind of get good at this industry, you look around even on the frustrating days, and you're like, you know, man, this is way better.
I love it.
I mean, there's no way I could sit in an office for 10 hours a day, man. There's just absolutely no way. It would just crush me, you know?
Man, I found something I'm really, really good at here, you know, and learn, and that's what I'm transferring to today, making other people better and building something.
How do you find these people who you recruit?
Man, I just have a lot of people are, you know, I know you have your big companies like Linear, you know, and people like that. I know they do like the gyms and stuff, you know, where they find their people. With me, you know, I went to rehab with a lot of people.
Gotcha.
I know, but basically
you got to use the network at your disposal.
Yeah, I know,
right?
and I just know most of the people I have with me, I know, or in the program, you know, prior, you know,
sure.
And it makes some of the best. And
more second chances for people.
But I know how to recruit. If I want to like really put my mind to it, I can go. I'm gonna make a list of different things. I might put valet on there. I could go stalk out a valet thing down there and talk to everybody, just shoot the shit, and then
see who's sprinting hardest.
Just go talk to people. You know, I mean, if I really, you know, I'm going to get to that in time, but you know, I'm just, man, I get so many. I don't even have. It's nice. I hadn't even knocked a door since the end of the third quarter, and this 2.9 million, 2.8, whatever it is. Something I did this year for them, I did in 3 quarters.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That is.
I did a lot of traveling and this and that, you know. So
you said you had to knock doors like a motherfucker when you started.
That's right.
Like there's no replacing how you lay building blocks, right? Right. The least sexy part of any construction project is the foundation, right? No one sees anything going on, right? It's not. Don't the framers are always the one who get cases of beer, right, from the homeowner. They're like, your framers are fucking crazy awesome. And you're like, no framers without that foundation. So you got to lay that foundation in place. If you knocked until your knuckles bled, now
at first
you're
it takes that.
Now you're reaping these rewards of what? Just lots of referrals, networking.
Well, once you've been in the industry, this will be my 5th year going in, I mean, I just get phone call or referral, or it's just like it comes so easy. I can like call one of my customers, hey, I need to, you know, it's just about working smarter. But it takes, once you've been in the industry, and see me, everybody comes to me when they want to know a question about insurance company, because I know what everyone requires, all their little tricks. For instance, Allstate slipping that tricky verbiage in at 15 years, you know, making an ACV policy, they call it something else. That's just an example. Or you know, just little things, which one are ACVs, and like to look out for this. But they ask me questions about that, and I've just, it's like I've been roofing probably for 10, 15 years, because I'm a volume guy as more as to just, you know, try to sit there and like, you know, I like to move fast. You know, I don't want to be sitting there, you know, at homes. You know, I move as fast as my supplement moves too. That slows me down. But I do volume claims. So I've dealt, you know, you say I run probably 120 claims a year or something. So I've just got that fast forward experience, which really helps. And I'm really, really knowledgeable at the insurance and stuff, and just learn, I don't know, man. It's just something that, you know, you can't just do this overnight. It's a learning curve, and you just got to keep trying.
Yeah, and I know you like to move fast, but let's not let anybody get confused. You're not a customer service guy. You're a client care guy. And you know how I know that? Because you just sat down before we went live and told me that you've got 5 adjustments up north from a lady who's a referral. And if you just treated everyone like a transaction, right? Like they're just going through the cash register at Target, no one would remember you. But you connect with them. You bond on common interests. You do a good job. You say what you'll do. You do what you say. You keep your promises. And then people, because they like you, someone says, hey, you know a good, boom. Brad comes to mind. And that's the difference between customer service and client care, because those are 2 very different things. And a lot of people in our business get those muddled. They don't understand that if you want to make it big in this business, you need clients who then become repeat clients.
Yes, and it's you know, it's simple. So in 20, I made up, you know, when I was working Lake High, that's my favorite place ever, like my favorite place to roof. And of course, I lived there. I bought a house there. So I worked there for 2 years, you know, from a 2019 storm, you know, we just had like new little hail dates. I would use the tornado date, which no hail came over there.
Right.
Like, but they, you know, whatever, it just gave me more extended time, you know, and I just had like a laminated list of referrals. I'd sit there and, I mean, I would work at this and write out. Now I don't have to do like this so much, but I would write out on like a manila folder all the names and addresses, then take it up there and figure out how to laminate it real nice in organization by street. So Eagle Trail one I did over in Lake Highlands, I did like 15 roofs on that street. I built
2 houses on Eagle Trail.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I'll give you the address.
Why are you on my street?
This is way before you were doing this.
Okay, well, I'll let you off this time.
Way before. I told you, I told you our CFO lives over there. So
yeah,
I got a couple other friends that live over there.
Well, she's saying all my signs, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You've dealt with a lot of different leadership types since you've come into this industry. In your opinion, what makes the best leader?
So far as like somebody I look up to for mentorship or just a natural.
Yeah.
Well, some people lead by example, but just somebody that doesn't, you can't have some, you see a lot of people on social media, a lot of people on there, I mean, it's not so much my game. I like to post my work on there. People know I'm relevant and it shows I'm doing roofs. I don't have time doing all that to take, hey, we're hanging out on this roof, selfies on roofs. I just don't do that. Every once in a while I do.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a big thing now.
Yeah. But, I mean, if it worked, I might start I could see the social media thing working really good at recruiting. So I might play around with it this next year because I'm going to take a different role with everything is my hope. But it's just I see people like doing like, okay, cool. I'm getting claims while you're, are you there on a roof or are you signing that roof up?
Well, don't you think that a lot of what you see on social media is just smoke and mirrors anyways?
Yeah, it's
fool's gold.
Yeah. I'm not saying
it feels good to see it and you're like, whoa, they must be doing great. But let's look at those books.
I remember people, this kid, Josh Waxman. So, you remember that?
Yeah.
That guy, he was like, he could like suck people in easy and like, man, he was a scam artist. That's just an example. There's a lot of people out there doing good things, I'll give a shout. I like my homeboy's Mike Iman. He loves those little, videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I just, his truck needs some help, but, I hope he's listening to this. Mike is my boy, though. I love Mike. He
great. Kept the orange. Even when he went and started his own deal, right?
Yeah, he loves his social media thing. And it works for him. So that's good. There's nothing. I know Mike good, and there's nothing fake about him. He cares about people not getting shitty work, and that's one person right there I can say that is really like, good at it. My boy Dustin with Results, so our wives are cousins or something. So
is that right?
Yeah, we met once, but we talk a lot on the phone. I mean, he's a clown. He don't care, man. He does some funny shit, but I mean, it works for him because I see it as a good recruiting tool. I mean, he's got an army over there that he's built up, so I respect that. Whatever he's doing, but there's other people out there, that just. I don't get it, but it's, man, to each their own, So
yeah, man. I mean, I think if it works for you, go for it. If you like it, go for it. If you don't, maybe give it a shot before you say I'm done with it. But social media is it's an enigma, man. It's in the ether. The value of the time you put into that is not easy to measure.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
they like post. I made some real professional videos, I think, back in 19. They were cool and stuff, but it was like, you got to do this 4 times a day. Like, nah, man, this just ain't my thing. I'll just get the claims and post my builds. What counts,
Yep.
Just because you're on your roof, and if you know the amount of roofs I've been on this year, just imagine the amount of claims I got. But imagine the contacts I make with that don't have damage, and I tell them their roof's good, and I make a brief connection, but I make them remember me somehow. So, and if I'm not in a hurry, I'll usually get their contact and put them
in the CRM.
Send them an email or something. Maybe they'll remember me next time. Because, man, I mean, I probably, there's tons of people that just don't have enough, to worry about. If somebody needs has a, I did this a while back. It was a referral. I'm a networking group, and they. I went over, some people had some missing shingles and from the ridge cap. There's a little storm through there, man. But I knew the insurance company, S Farm. Jake wasn't gonna have that shit over there, so I just told him, look, I just sent my crew over there to fix that ridge cap. I told him we'll go another time. Your insurance company is. sucks at the moment, so we're gonna, I don't want, put you through the fight of that. We just wait for the next one, and plus you're not gonna get any leaks. You'll be all right. Nothing major. So
the most important thing we tell our people is that communicating with clients is just important.
It's very important, and not bothering them. So you got to think, okay, I'm going to go to this person's house. They're with their family and stuff. I don't want to be a nuisance to them. So, I've got to perfect that. Text message, some people don't get it, but text message is the best thing to use with customers. And I say, okay, I tell them, like, it's very important I'm here with the, I don't explain the whole process a lot of times. Sometimes I do. Most of them have been through it around here, but a lot of them had. I should get better at some of that. There's always something we can get better at. But,
sure.
I just let them know it's very important that I'm here, so the insurance does right by you and everything. So I'll just I know about how long it takes something, so I send them a text message a day or two, check in. Hey, have you heard anything yet? Heard a time and a date, basically. And no, we haven't, or yes, we have, this and that. So, and you got to think, it's like a car set or somebody trying to sell you something. It's a nuisance, and, it irritates you. It's like if you got to stop your life. So you've got to be there and make them like you, but just make them contact you and make it simple as you can for them.
Try to make it as convenient.
Yeah.
Because it's an inconvenient process getting your roof replaced.
Yeah, and then you just ask them if they have any questions, and stuff like that, and anything, because and you'll just learn to gauge that after some years,
What about the speed with which you respond to a client? A client reaches out to you?
Always, man.
Immediate?
Oh, they wear me out, man. Sometimes, and I'll get on a roof to inspect it, man. It's just like, oh my God, how many times is my phone gonna ring? Or
right.
It just wears me out, but I still respond, even if I tell them, I'll get back with you in the morning or whatever. I always respond. So text messages is really great with those things. And everything. So
do you keep a lot of lists, a lot of to-do lists?
I don't know. All the drugs I've done and crazy stuff I've done in my life, dude. I don't know how I can remember anything, but man, I'm clean now, clean for, some years. So
good for you, man.
Yeah, it feels good, not perfect, but I am clean, drug and alcohol free. So I'm, but I have the best detailed memory. Now, names might be a little, I don't remember those as good, but, I have, I can remember everything, every little detail with a customer. I don't know how, but I put in my calendar now that I have this, man. So I had this big board at home, man. I would write all my claims on the dry erase board, man. That thing was full, especially after that Keller storm, boy. I had to add another board. This thing's huge, so I keep that organized. But now, I read in my office.
Those big panels at Lowe's?
Man, I got it off Amazon, dude, given to the Jeff Bezos cause, all the good folks,
all those good folks.
The local good folks, yeah. But no, man, it was that's why I'd spend my Sunday on reorganizing it, like supplement and stuff, and really get myself together. But now I have this guy, Computer Whiz. I use the Excel spreadsheet with all my customers. I use different colors, and I'll update it every day. Put, I know this person's priority or whatever. Then I cut it and carry it in my hand wherever I go. And
gotcha.
I believe in having, after you run a storm, however your system is, but I want something in front of my face so I can keep those clients. Mm-hmm. You need something in front of your face all the time, and I have my schedule on my phone and stuff so I can keep everything. But so I got smarter in 2020. I had some people. I created a system, so I found, I'd get me a door knocker even, and and then a helper, and basically send them, and I'd be doing the inspections and close them while they're getting more, and just kind of worked with a good system, and we paid them really good. Back then I had, I knocked myself some, but some, I would try to do as much as I can, but a lot of times, I'd sit at the house and send them out there, and I lived 5 minutes down the road, so I could that was great about 2020, and everybody was home. I just killed it. We're basically just a helper. So 2020 I did 2.4 in residential. So this year I did the almost 3 3/4. So not bad, but
if you hadn't started out so heavy on the doors, would you be getting the results you're getting now?
Man,
like for instance,
that's
if you had just started chasing leads, so web leads or social media leads, and you just went to a networking group, do you think you'd be where you are now?
No, man, that's where the bread and butter is, at the door. I don't believe in like, I'm open to try it, but I do like telemarketer leads sometimes because but a lot of those can be trash. But I'll take one every now and then. It just depends. But doors is really where it's at, man. And I really like neighborhood takeovers and putting signs there so they know who I am, not to get calls off that. But the doors is where it's at. You can pick your customers, and you've got to be able to knock doors to really be a surgeon in this industry. I mean, there's only so many, a telemarketer's going to get you, or like I don't believe in just putting ads out on Facebook. That's going to get it done. Networking group,
not in the metroplex.
That'll help you, but it's not. No, you got.
When did you start the networking group? Is that a BNI or a Master Networks?
It was a BNI. Yeah, I started on BNI. I think it took me a long time to get in there, and I finally got in one. And then they tried to do some. It was in Plano. They tried to do some like politics in there, and like we had a good thing built, and they were trying to be like, it was basically like, a hardcore Democrat, and they just needed to be in the
controlling everything.
Yeah. So like F this, and because I had been in Master Networks group before, and nobody was about giving referrals. Man, I'm there, and I've led my BNI group and like back-to-back year with referrals. So I do volume. One thing, it's like, I'm really good on the front end and stuff. That's what I can do, volume and deal with a lot of people, and I'm really good at juggling that somehow.
When you look back at when you started, is there anything that you would change back in that first year and a half?
Oh, always, I mean, I don't have to force people into claims now and stuff. I basically, but I am, I am the type, hey, we need to, I'm trying to hit the door then if I'm knocking doors, and, doing the inspection, we're calling this claimant now, and I sign a contract, I just tell them, hey, I'm going to, this basically, I'm going to meet insurance. And I do the work order, so I sign only one thing. That's it on the front end. So, hey, I'm going to do all this work. This is, we can go through the details when we get paperwork, but basically, I just want you to know I'm the best at what I do, and I'm, look up her company, whatever, but I'm going to put my time and effort in, and I'm the best at what I do, and I'm going to get everything that you're warranted by your insurance company, I'm going to get the maximum amount of that. And so, if I get everything approved, I want to be the one that does the work. So, and
is your approach when you meet an adjuster the same as your approach when you meet a client prospect?
I used to be like kind of a dick back in the day, or like really aggressive, but I'm not, man. Everything's changed. I just let them I just go there and shoot the shit with them. Like I gave this one cat, I've seen this ladder sis. He's hard to crack, man. He shows no emotion or something. So I gave him a "Let's Go Brandon" sticker, and like, "What's up, man?" Gave that to him. Do something like that, man. Kind of knock him off guard, and make them it's like just your buddy you're hanging out with, and you just kind of fill them out. I let them do their thing, man, and see. And then if I need to get up there and make things happen, I do. At that point, but I'm just there basically, and then, well, I know which insurance company, so, I might say, okay, cool, and I'll wait till I'll be walking off. I said, by the way, you got the O&P on there for me, right? Throw in something like that if I need to, or, it's just, but mostly I just let them do their thing and then just hit them with supplements.
Yeah.
But there's good adjusters, there's bad adjusters. I know most every local adjuster, man. So it just comes with time and
experience
doing that things. But what I've really learned to do good now, and I'm trying to get away from this so much as worrying about myself. And I'm going to produce. I'll produce 1.5 million in my sleep without knocking the door, man. It's just easy. I just figure out. No matter what the stakes are, I figure out how to get business. It just every time I start panicking and think, oh man, I need a claim, then God comes through. It's like trusting, just trusting what you're good at, and somehow it comes through, and I figure it out. I mean, I can have 30 claims on the board open. And I think I'm going, oh my God, you're going to get broke. You need more. But it's just the obsession of getting more. I think, some of that drug addict mentality and that goes with that. I don't know, but I'm able now to, this last year, I ran that system effective. So, we would have, we would go out there and hunt, I'd have somebody knocking doors and, I'd come in, sometimes 4 people. 4 people is really good if you got a storm just, perfecting. I basically go up to homeowner, we'll look at the roof and got to set up the lead and then go. And I'll get down and, basically have that other person there that just knows how to call in a claim. Like, look, damage, here's what we're going to do. And, and then dictate what's going to go on and then send them in there to.
He'll call the claim with you. We're going to continue documenting your damage, that type of thing. If
it's just basically I get up there. If somebody's say my man over here is, we got a storm in the street. I'm going to have him, hey, set up inspection. Hit these, and I, me and whoever inspecting there, and if I have my girl there or whatever, we get up there real quick, get some pictures. Yeah, man, it's hammered. Look, what we're going to do is, I just basically tell with that person, and the homeowner right there, basically this is what we're going to do. She's going to come in and just help you file the claim, and then we'll meet in the insurance. I don't get, I don't say, and then they'll tell you if they don't want to do it or something, but I just basically kind of like I'm moving forward without their permission, but in a very smooth way.
Yeah, the power of suggestion is very powerful.
Yeah.
So you mentioned being a hunter, but you've also mentioned some things that set you up as a little more of a farmer, right? When you're networking in a networking group, you're planting seeds, you're watering the seeds, protecting that, then harvesting the crop. That's what a farmer does. When a storm hits and you know where that storm is, the most efficient use of your time is to go hunt those deals, right? Where the storm has hit. What do you prefer, the farmer or the hunter?
I mean, man, I want to teach other guys how to hunt now. I'm like, I'll hunt if I need to, but I just hadn't. Man, I mean, I just hadn't knocked the door. Of course, I'm going to go out there and
but you got guys knocking for you still.
Well, no.
Not really?
I got away from, I didn't always, I mean, this would be certain situations I would go out with a little team, but, I just, I work in, when it's off hail season, man, I work different. I find areas that, I'm real good at finding the areas that roofers are not, and if I need to move, I just know how to move around accordingly. It might come this new hailstorm. I know tough areas. I wasted a lot of time last February up in McKinney, man. The people are just tough up there. It's I've got some claims, but man, they just all these roofers are covering deductibles. They want money back and all this stuff. I'm like, whoa, I'm not, I'm not doing all that, and getting caught up in that, and it's just they get hit so much, and so many people are doing they're cutting themselves short trying to give too much stuff away, man. I'm not about giving stuff away. I offer suggestions. Well, if you might not want to, pay this deductible, look, you can take this money from this fence and not do that work, or this garage door, but you can't invoice for the depreciation, but you can use this upfront money if you want to use that. If I do your roof, I want the full RCV value, but basically, how it should work. If I hate side work, I like roof and gutters. So
yeah, those auxiliary trades will chew your time up.
Yeah, exactly.
How important is,
and there's no money in it.
No,
there's no.
It's all a break even.
Yeah.
It's proposition anyways. How important is it for you, and has it become more important? Obviously it has, for you to manage your time as efficiently as possible.
Well, I've got, guys that one guy now, he's one of my, good helpers and stuff, and he loves that position. He'll run around, pick up checks. I've got one of my trucks I let him drive where, he'll go to a build, if they need materials or whatever, and run those errands, because if you're doing everything, there's just no time. And I'm trying to create opportunity for more people. I'm really good at that. I can create I don't know how it just comes natural, man. It's like roofs come natural.
It's almost like this industry just grooved right in parallel with some of your already natural talents and abilities.
Yeah, it's hard.
Which is very cool.
It's hard to explain, but now there's a big announcement. Coming up. I'm debating. So I did open my own LLC. 3 years ago I've had it. So I've got a little establishment there. So I might be going on my own. I might be. There's a buddy back home from Mississippi that has this company. And we're talking about joining up forces on the U.S. as possible, or my prior company's offering a office, and this is a partnership. So that's I'm going to be traveling with some friends, and I'm going to make my official decision when I come back from. We're supposed to go to Colombia in January, so I'm going to think it over some time and give my answer when I come back. If you would like, I'd come on here and announce it.
Yeah, let's do it. When you go to Colombia, if you have any nagging injuries, you should get that stem cell treatment down there. That shit's next level.
They're wanting COVID passports now, so it's gonna. So we're looking.
For international travel.
Yeah, and I've had the virus twice, and I just don't.
Yeah, I've had it too.
Yeah,
I didn't even know I had it.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's just it is what it is.
So we'll
save that subject for another day because you'll get me on a tyrant.
Yeah, you're saying you trust your immune system.
I do.
Well, I'll be goddamned. That's amazing.
Yeah, man. Drink.
Wow.
I tell you a big thing. Like even working out there, people stay hydrated. You know how much better I feel. I drink a lot of water, man. It's very important.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
What's your follow-up game like? I know you're aggressive and you're a big suggester.
I'm not the best. Now, if I know I've got somebody, a big client, and everybody's different. Like you get a big $1 million home, $2 million homeowner, or whatever. Some of them you don't we're not necessarily
they ain't doing shit right now. They ain't doing shit.
I try to get the claim called in and spend time with them.
Sure.
And they know I'm the real deal. And, so you just got to know how to handle that. That just comes with experience and stuff. And, people are going to – I've lost plenty of those deals in the past, but I pretty much, solid with it now. Everybody has to go through those. We make mistakes and stuff, and you got to take that as a learning experience because you get kicked in the nuts quick in this industry, and if you can't recover, then you're going to be doing something else.
No, man, go work at Home Depot if you can't recover, and you better always be adding something to your game, like just like a good rugby player, basketball player. You spend the off season. We don't really have an off season, right, in this business, but there are slowish times of the year when you can be working on improving part of your game, working on getting better at this or that, or your follow-up or your organization skills or whatever. And
so the last 3, I'm blessed. I feel fortunate, and sometimes I get caught up in the things I don't have. Most of the time, it's just human nature, but, when I sit back and think of it, I'm really blessed to, have a good wife and great friends that we get to work together and I get to do what I'm fortunate enough to get to do the things I want, and now I just want to I've got a little crew I'm coming out with, and we're gonna be I just want to build something and go more into the recruiting and making people better, sharpen their skills. I think I'll be really good at taking a regular roofer to the next level. I'm a little impatient. I can teach them the whole thing, but I'll have that person in place where to teach them the slow stuff. But I want to help my friends get rich, and we just have fun together and build something special. And I need a different challenge. I feel like I'm getting older now. 43. I've got a long legger than the other one, so I have to have my shoe built up. So man, it fucks me up when I get on the roof. Sometimes gets my neck jacked up and all this. So I know I'm getting older, man, and I just want to, work a little different. But, man, it's just like I get stuff so easy. And now, fast forward, I've got, this guy, so he's able to, we can update everything every day on this, spreadsheet, what's going on, who's doing what, whatever. So I've always had all these ideas and ambitions, but I couldn't put them together in a computer form or, if that makes sense, Yeah. And now, I have that. So, I've done the last 3 years, 2.4, 2.8, 1.6, whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
How much is that?
A lot.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So, and like, it's crazy to be like, I guess like number 5th or 6th on that panel, like in the nation. And it's all residential too. So
what are you going to get up there and talk about?
I just want to know if this is what I need to ask anybody, because I need a good icebreaker. So, I'm still looking for some of the 81 million people that voted for Brandon.
Oh.
I cannot find very many. I mean, I know
is that what you're going to lead with?
Yeah, man. Like, I'm still looking for everyone out there. Like,
you should ask for a show of hands.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I don't
know if anybody would actually lift their hands.
I don't either.
If they were.
I'd like to see some video footage of that, though, and see.
Absolutely.
I think if someone did put their hand up, they might get trampled to death.
Yeah, I think they would just like,
I don't know.
I bet, I mean, around here, I did go up to Boston early this year just because we needed a break. And, I wore this shirt, it was, talking about Brandon in a way, it's fun.
In a less than positive way?
Yeah. I mean,
right.
Nothing, it's all nice and fun, but it wasn't getting the reaction I wanted up in Boston. Everybody was liking it too much. So I went up to Harvard, up to the cream of the crop, Cambridge, and, man, we say I didn't make too many friends up there. But
Not many hugs? No?
No, I was on the Harvard campus walking around. My wife, she just filmed it, It was a good time, though, man. My next trip, we need to get a camera crew out there, but I want to go over to Berkeley, California, see who I can, poke the bear with.
You go to UW up in Washington, up in Seattle. Yeah, man, you should do that. I'd like to see some footage of that. What do you do when you're talking to a client, but the client's afraid of their insurance company? How do you overcome that?
I just explained to them, look, so Texas state law. So do you want to pay more for your insurance claims, for your insurance right now? You see all these roofs going up in your area? Your premiums are getting raised. They cannot raise your rates, one person's rates under Texas state law of act of God. But they can raise everybody's in the area. Right. So you're going to pay for more. And if you get a new roof, if you have damage, we can get you a new roof discount through your insurance. So you're going to have to pay less.
Right.
So and then I tell them, now if you take your car, go out there and hit somebody,
It's a different deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have no control over catastrophic weather hitting your property. I just find it odd because if you hired someone to come mow your lawn, and part of the mowing of the lawn was, you're going to mow my lawn, you're going to edge my lawn, then I'm going to pay you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually what everyone around here does. But they came out and they edged your lawn, and then they came up to your door and they said, I'd like to be paid. You'd be like, job's not done.
Yeah.
Carrier comes out and goes, you have damage on all these other surfaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your fence, your garage door, you've got that cultured stone accent, and that's cool. But I'm going to do you a favor today, Mr. Homeowner. I'm going to pay for your roof, and that's it. And you get to just be grateful for that. And that's the way a lot of carriers treat a lot of policyholders. Mm-hmm. They act like they're doing them a favor because they approve the roof.
I would love that myself, but I couldn't feel good with the homeowner that, if I could just do nothing but the roof and get my full value and deductible out of that with O&P.
Well, but they got to be restored to their full pre-peril state.
I'm saying in a perfect word.
I feel you.
But I couldn't, I couldn't let, a homeowner not get everything they're paid for.
Yeah, that's the most odd thing about this business is that you are a paying client. Usually a paying client has a disposition where they're the authority in the transaction, right? Like if you have a roofing client and they say, Brad, you guys left nails in my driveway, you would send someone over
I'll do that immediately.
Right. But your insurance company gets to say, Brad, no, we don't think we owe for that. Not going to happen. Take us to appraisal if you have to.
Yeah.
And a lot of homeowners are, for some reason, it's like it's embedded into the American psyche that my insurance company is some infallible force. They could never be wrong. A lot like our doctors are seen nowadays, right? Doctors, these people who, they're saints. They're not even humans. This is how people treat insurance companies. It fucking pisses me off.
Exactly. The doctors, no, we only have, we only got funded this many $1 billion last year, but nothing's going on. We're not giving you any false information.
Don't follow that money. The weird thing, I think the reason why, and a lot of people have misnomers, right? If I file this claim and I get denied, they're going to drop me, right? If your carrier does that, go find a better carrier, right? We live in a marketplace that's competitive, right? When you go out and you try to sign a roof deal, is it only you out there, or are there 30 other guys? There's 30 other guys everywhere all the time. This is Dallas.
Yeah,
you have to compete.
If you can make it here, man, if I've done as good as I have here, I could just...
You should take your millions and you should start your own insurance company.
Yeah.
And the tagline is, we never lose a client because we treat every client fairly. Because you see these high-end, like the boutique carriers. Chubb is not the Chubb they were 18 months ago.
And they use Symbility too. So Symbility's a cheap program.
Nationwide Private, not what they once were. Pure, not what they once were. Vault, not once.
USA's not either.
Oh, USA's top 5 worst now, no doubt about it.
I still like them. They pay good. Supplements they were a nightmare. But and I don't have a lot of problems because I usually don't call in claim. Of course, y'all run into them, but
you meet a lot of your adjusters though for the adjustment. Right?
And I'm really, really good at getting stuff bought. I don't call in claims that are BS anyway, so I'm not gonna.
Good.
I don't want to be embarrassed like in front of a homeowner, or it's to that point. I've been like, or a local adjuster. I got to see that and go up there. I don't want to embarrass myself, and I feel like now it's to the point. I'm not just trying to eat scrap and just out there hustling to eat. I've built, I want a reputation, ongoing. It's important to maintain, treat all people. It's just I don't want to waste anybody's time, not mine either, or homeowners. There's just no point in calling a claimant that doesn't need it. But you do have the certain ones that even have the problem, and I just assess it, if it's I've just been doing this well, so I know, a storm's going to hit here when it probably will next, let's give it a little bit, or, if we need to take this to appraisal, or I'll just get a re-inspect, or for a public adjuster. Public adjusters, I just don't love them. I just feel like they don't keep you in the loop enough, and they just,
They come in all shapes and sizes, just like restoration contractors, just like video producers. There's really good ones who communicate all the time. There's really shitty ones who you pray to God you never have to give them another claim because they're the worst. The toughest part of this business is how many wars we're fighting all at one time.
Exactly.
Okay, right? You got your supplier. Are you always being invoiced accurately? Because it's very often there are mistakes there. You got the carrier. They're the ones paying. You got the client. They're the ones really paying because they're the one who are giving you the carrier money. You got the crews. Are they happy? Are they showing up? You got the weather. Is it raining? Is it windy like it was yesterday? You got the traffic. You got all these things on a daily basis that affect your productivity and therefore your profitability.
Let me talk about this. You remember back in, what was it, June? I don't after that Keller storm, it rained all month. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Dude, I put on 29 roofs that month with I've got cojones, we'll say, some balls on me.
Wait for a little break in the weather?
So you've got to be in real tune with your crew. And the main thing is your supplier have those materials on the ground. If you're going to run it, if there's rain later, and having them do a slope at the time. But I'm in tune with that. And I'm not scared to put on a roof before it rains. As long as that's there and you're in tune with your crew and y'all are on the same page, man, I was putting them on 2 or 3 a day, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, just when everybody was waiting and then it didn't even rain, man, because it don't even, if I knew for sure, I'd cancel, but I'd wait until the morning of and figure that out a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's a flake. So.
Yeah. When we first started out, we said we'd get to the COVID stuff at the end. So when this all started happening in February of 2020, what was your immediate, hey, we're not taking a break. We're not taking a couple weeks off to see what happens. You just kept right on grinding, or?
Oh yeah. So I had the luxury of 2020, probably my favorite year, I guess, because I working in Lake Highlands, living there, man. There's, I had so many customers. I just go up basically say. At a certain point, hey, I did this in this person's roof, and I'm getting on yours. Okay, you know, it's so simple to a point, but I'd worked to get to that point. Very hard work to get to that point, if that makes sense, to build up those clients and that reputation. Everybody knew me. The homeowners put me on Facebook groups in there, you know. So just whatever, but you know, just I could go to the house, you know, and it's so easy working in your own backyard. It's the most amazing thing, you know, because here we're running to pick up a check, man. It takes time, you know, running McKinney, whatever. But you know, man, I just kept at it. Like, you know, I guess everybody was scared. Now I had to figure out my approach, man, because, you know, my routine would be to invite myself in and sit down there. And so I had to twerk that. It made me a little uncomfortable at first, but I figured it out fast. You know, I wore like rubber gloves at first and just kind of would give them their space. And
you had to twerk it or you had to tweak it?
Tweak it. I twerked it too. If I needed to sell, you know, I'd twerk it right there, whatever I needed to do. So
there he is, the legend.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. If a new roofer came up to you at the Win the Storm conference and said, Brad, I want the results that you have, what's a little like starter pack of hacks you would give that young man or woman and tell them, go do this and this and call me in 2 months and let me know how you're doing?
Well, I would ask them, so are those the rules we're playing to on this one? I need to go, like, is that what you want me to? I mean,
just whatever you
first
say.
I would.
Hell, if all you say is, come work for me, I'll teach you everything. I'd
want to ask them, like, okay, ask them what they're doing now, and ask them a few questions. You know, do you have, are you like, do you really want to learn? I would, you know, ask them and want to know, you know, words don't always mean stuff, but it's good enough for me for a start till I can't trust you.
Right.
Hey, do you really want to, you know, embrace this? And it's like a lot of time, and it's not so bad starting off, but you know, you're going to have to, you know, again, the facts, like you're going to have to knock doors and talk to people.
It's hot.
Like, are you okay with that? And, you know, yes or no, like it's not easy, but if you work hard, and I don't need you to know what you're doing or anything, and I just want to know they're willing to work hard at it. You know,
work hard, coachable.
Yeah.
Work on being organized.
Yeah.
People come work for you. Do you ask them, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why should I hire you?
I pretty much know when I'm talking to a person.
Already?
Yeah. It's just.
What are my strengths, Brad?
Man, just being the man, bro.
What are my
I'm just
weaknesses?
trying to get like you.
No.
You don't have any, man.
You don't want to be anything like me, brother.
You don't have any.
I guarantee that. I guarantee you
Give me that autograph.
No.
Signature roofing.
No. The mentorship thing though, you keep saying that you want a new challenge. I think that's really gonna. I think this Win the Storm thing is gonna be a real springboard for you.
So what I really want to do is, you know, I'm ready to build something, whether it's my own or with somebody else or whatever. But you know, really getting a bunch of people, and it's the right people. I don't want anyone with me. I don't want something.
Don't just want a pulse.
Well, I really got a bunch of people that connect good, and we have a good camaraderie and that. So I don't want to intoxicate that environment because I'd rather be small knit and have some real surgeons, you know, and that's what I'm looking for. But you know, I'll talk to anybody, and you know, I don't want, like, you know, I'll help somebody through anything. I've been through it. You know what I mean? I'm here to help. But you know, I just want somebody. You know, some personalities don't go good with best, and if somebody's personality I don't feel is the right one, then I've got other people I can refer them to. You know, I'm here to help anybody. You know,
if you want to stay in this business, maybe I've got an opportunity over here that would be a better fit. Right?
Yeah,
fit's more important than anything. Culture, very important. Right? A lot of times your superstars are culture killers. Even if they're silent culture killers, it's their demeanor, it's their nonverbal, it's their body language, it's the way they carry themselves like they're better than everybody that turns everybody off.
Well,
then you end up with a company.
That's the best ones.
Well, they often are, but then you end up with a company with one instead of with a vast array, a well-rounded team. See, a well-rounded team is not a team of all middle linebackers or a team of all quarterbacks, right? We have stars at every position. They're all good at something different. I need to approach this high-end client. I'm taking this gal with me. That's the way in. She can talk to them. They like her. Or I'm going to go talk to this guy. He's a commercial tycoon.
Exactly.
I'm taking this guy with me. And
yeah, I'm very good at utilizing people where they're at. And also, dude, I just get leads and stuff. I want to send them to other people and stuff. You know, I'll take my claims. You know, I'll do $1 million in my sleep, but like, you know, I just want to help other people and get them better and just, you know, kind of work that angle. So
when you're knocking on doors in spring of 2020, was anyone like, get the fuck off my porch?
Well, I just feel people out. Everybody's different, you know, whether they're in fear from too much CNN or, you know, they like, okay, this is nothing. You know, I would knock and just keep my distance, you know, and then I would send pictures to their phone and tell them, you know, if we find this is what we're going to do.
The Catastrophe News Network?
Yeah.
CNN?
Yeah.
Everything's a dark winter?
Man, they keep losing their people. I don't know. I think
they keep losing their people, and their viewership is a fraction of what it was even Feb of this year.
I mean,
it's insanity.
The day before January 7th, man, they're just... Man, that's all we hear about. That MSNBC, man, I think they're worse than I'm saying, man.
Calling people despots and stuff like that.
Yeah, Sykes we're just, you know, so racist and everything.
Yes.
Some of my best friends are black, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing that the least racist country on the planet is now, to some, the most.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, hey, I have no idea. I feel like if everybody turned off their social and their TV for a week,
I would love to
some people would never turn it back on, because real life is beautiful, even when it's hard. But this fake, I'm going to believe what you say because you have some make-believe authority is bullshit.
What would roofers do without Facebook? I would love to see Facebook just gone. I mean, I
haven't been on there in 3 months.
I would love that, man. I'm old school. I used to use a payphone and a pager. And
they
stuff.
might get more done, would be my first thought, because I think everyone has adult ADD who's on social now. There's so much coming at you. How the fuck do you remember anything?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you didn't have some sort of attention deficit, you do now, because you're just, there's so much. You're watching TV, looking at your phone, talking to somebody,
and I do it
surfing
too.
Social. Well, everyone does.
I've got on the news, and then like then Mudvayne or Slipknot playing in the background, then trying to tell him what's going on, and
no way you can get anything done that way, man.
I do it, man.
Computer guy wants this. He wants silence. Does he? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a high function. You function highly in those stressful.
Yeah. I'm really good at it. Yeah, man. And yeah, no. So man, it's just you know, meeting people where they're at and like being able to see what they're good at and trying to mold them into that. And there's a lot of different ways to sell in this industry, man, to get your claims. You know, door knocking is the premium if you just want to be like, just tear it up, especially, you know, from the start. But there's a lot of things you can do, man.
What about these guys, though? Because there's guys on YouTube or social even that are, oh, man, you should never have to knock one door. Mm-hmm. If you're doing it wrong, if you got to knock doors, man, no. I haven't had to knock one door, and I've made millions. And I'm looking at them going,
maybe after year 5, if you ran a lot of claims like me or something. Or
if you
just been in the industry a long time.
Spend $100K a month on Google ads or something, maybe. But around here, you can't advertise enough.
Yeah, this is DFW, the belly of the beast.
This is absolutely
if you
the
can
cauldron.
roof here, you can go anywhere. Back home where I'm from, my buddy's got, you know, a company, and like some of his guys are averaging, and they're just, I mean, it's so easy down there, like $750K. I mean, yeah, like $750,000, and I know one guy did like 1.7 or something. Like, I mean, that's so easy down there, dude. They wouldn't know what to do with some motherfuckers out here in DFW.
Yeah,
back there. You take a Dallas roofer down there, it'd just be shark fest.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. You have to be on your game in this. Tell people all the time, this is not this work we do is not super complex, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not super difficult. But if you think you're going to mail your days in and get results back, you're very, very mistaken.
Man, you gotta do the. I've worked really, really, really hard. Really, really, really hard.
To get to this place where you now have some options.
Endless sleepless night days, that man working. Yeah. But now I know how to work so much smarter, man. It's not, you know, I'm just building something different now. And, you know, I'm always working even if you don't see me. So, you know, there's always
doing something.
Yeah, there's always something, you know, I'm setting up for the future. You know, I'm trying to eased into the solar thing. I'm gonna see how it works.
Yeah, right on.
See what it's about. Always
interesting.
Always looking for other ideas, and investments. But I'm just trying to. We'll see how this works. I always say that I'm going to do this, and then I just end up running so many claims. But I really am going to transfer into that this year and try to recruit good people and build something good, man. I want that, show them how to make a lot of fucking money. And
were there times when you were like, man, I just got to hang in one more week and it's going to get better? I just got to hang in one more month and I'll get back on a streak? Or
yeah, I'm sure there was, man. So
hard to remember that far back.
No, I mean, it's just like there's so many times, just like, I remember after that tornado in Dallas, man, I just ran over there to Preston Hollow, man. I've never felt like I worked so hard in my life because I was down, and I was up there on one roof, and like I felt like I knew I had them. I had my wife down there talking to them. Then I'd get up there and I'd see that Alcoa roof with wood shake under it. So I got down off that, go and set that up, and then come back to this. Yeah. It's like, trying to just like, but then where you couldn't get back in the roads, I would, man, we were like running materials to tarp through people's houses. Mm-hmm. My feet were blistered. I could not walk. So a hailstorm, you got to be out there quick. Everybody knows, especially to the hard to land. First, I hate the ones that hit at night because everybody get the jump. I like the one, and it's weird. It seems like it always hits on a Sunday afternoon. But, I'll run out there then. But you got to be, get your deals the first, second days, whatever. Then start, it starts getting a little tougher. So you got to know the outskirts to work and this and that. And you might just go as far as working, the first hailstorm of the year is always the hardest, and then if you have a good year, you can this storm might hit, and then a couple of days later this other one hit. Then everybody runs to this new one, so you go back to the other one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like just knowing, just being in tune with it, man, and knowing where the storms are, going back to old damage, this and that. It's just, it's just comes with time.
Absolutely. The instincts improve with experience.
Yeah, man. It's
100%.
People that want to be here and have, overnight, it just doesn't happen, man.
No, it doesn't, man. It's like anything else, right? Malcolm Gladwell in Outliers says it takes 10,000 hours, and I think that's maybe even a little light. It takes a lot to become an expert at what you do.
Yeah, and are we ever really experts,
Not if you're great at what you do, then you never consider yourself an expert because you always stay hungry, you always stay motivated.
Yeah.
And my biggest takeaway from today with you, and I appreciate you coming by, is that you're not just satisfied and resting on your laurels. You want to build and grow and improve, but also improve other people's lives, not just keep hoarding to yourself.
Right.
Because actually that becomes very empty.
Yeah, exactly.
You're sitting in a house on your pile of money, all alone, no friends, no family. That's a very lonely existence.
I'm not one of those guys that wants to. Oh, I have all the power and the money, and you have nothing. No, I want everybody to get it. They're going to earn it. I'm going to show them how to do it and help them as long as they're helping themselves. I'm not going to do it for somebody, but I definitely, man, let's all, enjoy this and build something, man. So I'm going to be doing some magnificent things next year, and man, I'm just a worker, and I'm going to get things done. So when you work at it, man, and my mindset and ambition, I've always had the entrepreneurship mindset. I just know how to make money, and create opportunities. Front end stuff is where I'm best. So
well, you're going to leave a lasting mark by helping people, especially teaching them the ropes in an industry that can change their lives. I appreciate you stopping by.
No, thank you very much, man.
Absolutely,
thank you. Man. I've known you for a while, and I always thought highly of you. So
ditto, man. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming in and sharing kind of what you do, and hopefully people who watch this will take some stuff away from it and be better at what they do, or go find something that they want to do more. Because I think that's the tough thing, right?
You can do it.
Yeah, some people, they just need to admit they don't like this business. It's not really about the business. It's just not a good fit.
Yeah,
right?
It's not. You cannot force this. You cannot. Man, the best way, like these companies. I'll finish up with this last thing, but some people want to get all these people in the classroom and stuff like, oh, we need to learn this and that, and then they go out. No, let's go out there and I'm gonna stand right here, and you're gonna do what I tell you. You go up and knock that door.
Live rounds,
and let's see if you can do it.
Yep.
I've taught a guy, hey, go up and tell him this is your first day, and your boss is making you knock, and then I'll intervene.
Yep.
And so if they're willing to, I feel like that's the best way to learn. But
willingness, right?
Yeah.
The willingness to put the effort in, even if maybe you don't see what the results could be.
Right.
Do this, man. It's going to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't believe me, go do something else. If you do believe me, then we're going places together.
I mean, I was homeless this many years ago. Look at what I have. Do you want this?
It's an amazing story, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Brother.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. That was awesome. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to hold Brad's attention, but 100 minutes later, and now we've got a podcast in the book. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think Brad's a very interesting guy, and his story is extremely inspiring. If you're ever feeling sorry for yourself, just get up tomorrow and work a little bit harder. I'd love to know what you guys think about the podcast. I really have a good time doing them. Drop a comment below. Hit me on my Instagram at Jess from the Northwest, and if you'd like to work together, email me live at autographconstruction.com. Happy holidays. We'll talk to y'all next year.